Well, what's going on, people? It's Gold Cobra and I'm back with another video. Now, it's a cold winter's day here on the east coast of Australia, so I'm getting all rugged up, got my hoodie, got my beanie, and yeah, why don't we just kick off into it. Now, I know it's almost been 2 months since the last upload, but life just got in the way of things. It's a pretty busy June for me, personally, just like in terms of things that happened within life. I did manage to pick up some manga, just wasn't able to show you guys that. I was actually planning to get a video out at the tail end of June, early July, but my girlfriend and I ended up getting the big COVID, so yeah, we're just indoors. So yeah, if I also sound a little bit funny just coming off that, I was actually relatively fine, but story for a different day. Now, why don't we talk about some manga? If you watch my manga haul from the month of May, I did manage to pick up some really cool stuff, I think, but I was really saving the good stuff that was all getting delivered in June for the June manga haul, but obviously I didn't get that out. It's practically halfway through the month of July with some stuff coming at the end, so I just thought, why not just bundle up June and July into one and just give you something a little bit earlier, and then we can go over the rest of the stuff once it all comes in the next month's manga haul. Now for June, I was very typically neurotic myself, and I thought, why don't I just have some more sleepless nights thinking about manga series I'm never ever going to be able to finish because they are so viciously out of print, and the stuff that is there is very heavily scalped and price gouged. So yeah, I picked up a lot of stuff that's out of stock, a lot of stuff that is out of print. I finished off with a couple of series as well, got some stuff from retail, and yeah, just like really sort of boosted up my my collection. So it's not a particularly big haul, but it's very quality. Dare I even say, it might be the best manga haul you see on this platform. So yeah, why don't we jump straight off into it, and we'll start off with all the retail stuff that I picked up. Won't really be too crazy just in terms of the way that I structured this, like if I got it in June or July. If I remember which month I did get it in, I'll let you guys know, but yeah, why don't we jump right into it. Now, just because of the way the Dark Horse are choosing to release this, it's become pretty painful to collect just in terms of the wait times in between, but in May, I picked up 5 volumes of it before, so now I'm finally up to date because I picked up volumes 6, 7, and 8, and that, of course, is Mob Psycho 100. Now, I'm a big Mob Psycho 100 fan. I love the anime. The manga is proving to be just as fun. You can see this is from One as well, who also co-writes One Punch Man, so Mob Psycho 100. I know people sort of shit on the series a little bit just because the art style is a little bit whack, but I do think it's rather endearing. The story itself is very fun, it's lighthearted, doesn't take itself too seriously, and I guess it's probably one of the main reasons that we all really enjoy One Punch Man. So those are volumes 5 and 6. Sorry, 7, 6 and 7. Oh my goodness. And that's volume 8. That's the most recent one that just came out. Pick that up too. So yeah, that's Mob Psycho 100. So let's also check out the stuff that I picked up from Viz over the last 2 months. In June and I guess part of July now as well, I was able to finally get my hands on 2 volume 2s that have been missing from my collection, that have really been stopping me from finally diving into the series as well as just finishing it off. The first one would be volume 2 of Fire Punch. Guys, I picked up Fire Punch maybe halfway through last year, and volume 2 was just so painfully out of stock. Like, you couldn't find it anywhere. Copies of it were going for like 120 bucks. There's not a single chance I'm paying $120 or something you can pick up for $15 retail. So I just had to play the waiting game. Finally got my hands on it. I read it. It's Fire Punch. I guess like the anticipation sort of built up the series in my head to being a lot more than I expected from it too, but I like it so far. I guess I just have to finish the other 6 volumes that have been sitting on my shelf for almost a year now. So yeah, looking forward to it. I like Tatsuki Fujimoto. You'll see some more of his work in a little bit, but yeah, I finally got my hands on volume 2 of Fire Punch. Now the next volume 2 that I picked up is from maybe might be my favorite series currently that I'm collecting at the moment, and that is volume 2 of Real. If you guys remember my last manga haul, I managed to pick up all the volumes from 3 through to 6. They should be on my shelf just there. I had volume 1, read that, so I'm just waiting on this one to finally come in. I managed to grab this from someone on Manga Swap Reddit for a really good price. I'm really stoked on that. It's in perfect condition. I think the guy read it once, so there's no yellowing or anything else like that, but you don't need to know the liner notes of the condition of the book. regardless, I'm super stoked to have that in there. I just charged through this. Gonna read volume 3 soon and just continue moving on to the real collection. But yeah, these first 3 were really difficult to find. I know they're just back in stock on Amazon, so snap them up if you are finally looking to get your hands on real. Now, as I just said before, got some more Tatsuki Fujimoto work, and of course that is Chainsaw Man volume 10 and the end to part 1, volume 11. Honestly, guys, I didn't like it. I didn't like the ending. I just thought it was very meh. You know, like I was reading and I was like, this is sort of like what this whole arc was building up to. It was kind of cool. Probably the hardest to read in terms of like legibility, in terms of the battle scenes. I'm not going to show anything because big spoilers. Like there are some cool bits and pieces, but I don't know why I'm just looking at that and I'm not looking at you. But yeah, it was just like, it was cool. You know, like it was, I don't know, like 6.57. Like I'm not trying to be a contrarian, but because I know everyone loves this, but it was just okay. I know you didn't come here for a Chainsaw Man review, but I think the build up to this fight was so much better than the actual battle itself. But yeah, I guess I just have to wait and see what happens in Chainsaw Man Part 2. But yeah, that's 11 and 10 to add to the collection, just up there. Now, for some actual heat in a series I will defend until my face turns blue, is Jujutsu Kaisen volume 15. And I love JJK. Like, I know it's overhyped, I know people love it, but it's easy to understand why. Like, everything about this is fun. I really just can't put into words how much I really enjoyed this series. I think it just like really picked up steam in the Shibuya arc. So yeah, stoked to have that one in the collection. Looking forward to reading number 16. So yeah, that is JJK. Picked that up, I believe, in June, so it's been here for a while. Next up is another series I'm collecting that people really despise the artwork for, and that is Mao Volume 5 by Rumiko Takahashi. Again, like, I'll defend this series too. I think it's exactly what you need in terms of being a palette cleanser. It's so soft, it's so easy to read. It's got like all the same action that you'd expect from something from the creator of Inuyasha, who's decided to go back and write like a semi-action series. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a quick read. The story's gripping enough. It's everything you sort of need from a Shonen Sunday series. And yeah, that's Mao. Can't wait to read number 6. Cool. Hopefully it doesn't go on too long as well, because I know she's notorious for writing these like 50 volume series. Just make it short, please. I'm running out of shelf space. I think we all are too, but yeah, that's Mao. And now, probably the series I'm looking most forward to picking up retail is the Death Note short stories. I love Obata and Oba's work. Like, I'm just like the world's biggest defender of their stuff. I feel like they finally returned to form. I don't know if you guys read Platinum End. Platinum End is good, but it falls very far from, no pun intended, the apple falling far from the tree, just in terms of their previous work with Death Note as well as Bakuman. So it was sort of good to see them come back to that. I don't think they really missed a beat. Everything about this is like so fresh. It's exactly what made Death Note, but without, I'm not going to go into spoilers for it, but yeah, you can see that my bookmark's in there because I'm really enjoying it so far. My girlfriend's reading this next after me because she's a huge Death Note fan too, so just stoked to have this. Everything I've read so far is awesome, so yeah, if you get a chance, pick it up. I strongly recommend it. It's a nice big like viz sig, and it's like just like feels like good quality. So yeah, Death Note short stories, well worth it. Go for it. Now for another series that has slowly raised its ranks right up there to being one of my favorites so far that I'm reading, and that's Argent demihuman. I picked up volumes 1 through 4 in May, and I just like sped right through them because I think the story is just crazy so far. And in that month, I picked up volume, what's upside down, volume 5. These covers are awesome as well. Volume 7. Probably my favorite one that I've seen so far, and volume 8. Volume 6 is on the way. I just had to buy that one from like a seller on eBay just because it's so out of stock everywhere, and it was still just like retail price, so I was happy to grab that. My volume 7, just to give you a little bit of backstory, I bought it from Amazon and it came with the package like sealed onto it, so I had to do some like hefty repair to get that back into like normal condition. It doesn't look any different, but yeah, there's just glue all over it and I couldn't be bothered to go back and try like send it back and get another one and wait in between, so yeah, I just had to fix that up. But in the meantime, volumes 5, 7 and 8 of Argent with number 6 on the way. I've read number 5, which sucks because now I just have to wait for 6 to show up before I can get into the other 2, but I'm loving everything about the series. I think it's so underrated, or maybe I just missed that point in time on Manga where everyone talked about this, if they did. But Argent rocks. It's one of my strongest recommendations just in terms of if you can get your hand on it. So yeah. Now for something else I was actually able to find online, and for a decent price as well, like it was just retail, thankfully. They finally had some of these in stock. I was actually really worried about grabbing the 4th volume because everywhere I just saw it for $100, but thankfully there was just a single copy in a comic book store somewhere. You guys don't need the backstory for that, but regardless, I picked up volumes 3 and 4 of Shuzo Ishimi's Happiness. That's volume 3, and the cover of volume 4. I think the cover of volume 4 is so good. Very soft, very understated again. I'm just enjoying this so far in terms of everything I've read. Very Tokyo Ghoulish, but with that Oshimi twist to it. It's about vampires, if you haven't checked it out. But yeah, everything about it is just really good. Like, it's exactly what you'd expect from Shuzo Oshimi writing this kind of story. Yeah, I won't gush too much about it, but really enjoying Happiness so far. Only 10 volumes, thankfully, as well. He's a short story genius. So I'm looking forward to grabbing the rest of those. But yeah, during June, I picked up those 2. And before we start diving into my deranged, out of print, out of stock stuff, the last bits and pieces that I managed to pick up online, and I finally finished this collection, is volumes 3 through 6 of Raw Hero by Akira Harimoto. Obviously the creator of Prison School, I want to say. It's just completely escaped me, I want to say that, but I'm not going to edit that out. Again, of course, always wrapped in plastic because, you know, except for this one, strange. Yeah, wrapped in plastic because, you know, it's a intellectuals manga, which is why that would be the case. But just like another really good and easy to read story that doesn't take a lot of brain power to digest. It's just fun. It's ridiculous as per usual in terms of the rest of his work, and I'm just stoked to have that in my collection and also finished. This was the first, or maybe it was the second series from Yen Press that I ever picked up in my collection. And again, I'm stoked to have that done. I like the red covers. Red's my favorite color. And yeah, that's that done. Raw Hero completed in my collection. I picked that up last month and part with it this month as well. Now for some big boys. This month I was actually able to pick up volume 3 of the Attack on Titan omnibus. This thing is hefty, it's thick. I believe it collects volumes like 13 to, I'm not even going to attempt to, because I don't know, I'm just talking for the sake of it. But again, just that good old Attack on Titan fashion. I think I made the right choice just in terms of collecting these over the singles, just because I know the paper quality on the spine isn't the best, but it just saves on so much shelf space, you know. 6 of these versus 34 singles, I just think it works out like more economically in terms of shelf spacing. Plus I just like the novelty size. I guess like the artwork gets a bit more space to breathe as well, just in terms of having it on this like big gigantic space. One of the few things from Kodansha that is like actually bound well. I'm a big disbeliever in terms of the Kodansha style of printing, but yeah, I like these. That's Attack on Titan, volume 3 in the omnibus. Stoked to have gotten that one. I actually picked that up this week and it arrived here to my apartment 2 days ago, so yeah. And once again, from my collection goals, I was actually able to pick up 2 more of this series that month of June, and one actually came in this week as well, and that is Blam, volume 4 and volume 5. Again, these are like, they're gorgeous. Like the master editions of these are just like awesome. Vertical can do next to no wrong in terms of the sizing and everything else in between. I'm not able to start reading these because I can't find a copy of volume 1 anywhere, but it'll come eventually. Those who wait, patience is a virtue, all that stuff. I can't remember what the quotes are, but yeah, that's 4 and 5, just in terms of Blam. These are just looking really cool on my shelf, unread, as every manga collector does. You never actually read anything you purchase. You just wait for more stuff to show up so you can put it on your shelf and just hopefully forget about it. But I am still going to get volume 1 at some point, and I will read that, and I'm looking forward to it because I said I want to read this, and it's just sitting here unread. Blam, 4 and 5. Now let's get into the good stuff, the out of stock and the out of print. There's not that many of these, but they were kind of expensive just to sort of get them here. I didn't pay like an exorbitant amount. It's just maybe a couple, $5 to $10 per volume more, but it adds up very quickly. The first series sitting here in my lap is one that I've been seeing going around on MangaTube. I know it's out of print, it's still in stock, but grab it because I just keep seeing people adding it to their collection week after week after week, and eventually it's going to become one of those series where it's just in everyone's collection, but it's nowhere to be found online or anywhere else. And that, of course, is Summit of the Gods. That's volume 1 right there. So this is a pretty wordy manga from everything that I've seen inside. It is very heavily artistic. It is about people who are about to scale Mount Everest. It's about a guy, actually I don't know his name because I've barely read it. I just picked it up because I knew it's gonna go out pretty soon. So yeah, it is very wordy. It is, like, when I say it's an intellectual manga, I genuinely mean like it is a thinking piece manga. It's really about like self-exploration in terms, and also like outside exploration, but it does look like it's a very good read. That's volume 1. Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. And Volume 5. So it's also the first of this publisher. I'm actually not too sure who published this. Probably could just read on the inside. Pentamon, not too sure. I'm just talking, looked at that. First of that type of publisher in my collection so far, but I am very happy to have all 5 of these volumes. If I knew how to stack them properly, I could show you the spines right there. All 5 of those. They are thick, it's a heavy set, and just good. So if you haven't already and you think you're sort of interested in this, grab it because I don't think it's going to be around for much longer. The next series that I picked up in June that is heavily out of print, but you might be able to actually find some of the volumes on Amazon. I think I was able to find 1, and it was still kind of expensive. Doesn't really matter. It's a slice of life. It's about a guy who quits his job and moves to the countryside to become a calligraphy writer, and that is Oraclemon, published by Yen Press. I believe there's 18 of these out at the moment, and I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't know why I think, hey, that's a good series to collect, and I start collecting it, and then there's going to be one that's eventually nowhere to be found. I'm looking at Eye Shield, volume 36. I'm still looking. If you ever find it, please help me. I'm losing sleep. Regardless, it's a really cool series so far. Published by Yen Press. It's exactly, when I say like the perfect palate cleanser, if you're finished reading Berserk and you just need something that isn't so stimulating, or you just finished reading something else and you're like, wow, my brain's on fire, I just need something chill to read. It's a very cozy read, and that is Barakomon. I managed to find the first 5 for a relatively decent price. So that's volume 1 right there. Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. And Volume 5. Now I need to make it pretty clear, when you go to grab this series, it is going to say it's in stock. There's plenty of it if you're looking for it in German, Italian, or French, or any other type of European languages. The English versions are hard to find. I can't stress that enough. Or maybe I'm just not looking in the right places, but I have looked. I've had to return a whole bunch because no one specifies the language. They just tell you it's the volume. It looks like it's the right price. It shows up here and it's in French. I can speak French. I can read French too. I don't want the French version because it's also a different size. Regardless, I also don't want mixed languages in there, but you guys don't need to know about how I neurotically collect manga. It is here. It is available in different languages. The English version is the hard one to find, so just be wary of that. And yes, that is the first 5 volumes of Barakomon in my collection. I have another 13 to go. That's my cat. Now for the last bits and pieces of the out of print haul. And I just look at this and it stresses me out because I've looked high and low for the last main bits and pieces of this, but that's beside the point. In May, I finally finished the Basilisk collection. That's volumes 1 to 5 of the Ninja Scrolls in that sense. However, a couple of months before that, I was watching a Weeabra video and he because well, he was collecting this too, and it was sort of like a blessing and a curse to find out that there's more to the story. However, volumes 8 up to 13, because I think it collects 13, are so out of print and so unavailable, I'm probably gonna have to sell a kidney to find them and purchase them at that point too. However, I have right here, 2 of them were a gift from my girlfriend for my birthday. They're just late arrivals that came in June. And I was able to find 2 through 7 in Australia for a decent price as well. And that is the Yaguya Ninja Scrolls, the second collection. So I'm actually not too sure because I haven't quite finished reading Basilisk yet. So I'm looking forward to finding out how the story continues. That's volume 1. That's volume 2. That's volume 3. Really cool. Again, love the red covers. I just love red covers on manga. Volume 4, which is still sealed. It's still sealed, sorry. Still sealed. Volume 5, sealed as well, thankfully. These are, I'm not showing you the backs, but yeah, they're just really nice looking volumes. Volume 6, sealed again as well. And lastly, volume 7, which is also sealed. So these ones I think were like read once, or they just weren't sold because it's a pretty old series, but I'm really stoked to have those in my collection here. The Yaguya Ninja Scrolls, part 2 to Basilisk. Just looking forward to finally diving into that. Once I finish reading Basilisk, I'm on the 5th volume right now. I'll include that in a later video later this month, just like what I've been reading. But that concludes everything that I picked up in June and July. It was an expensive little haul. I know it doesn't seem like much, but once you start collecting out of print manga, you'll know what that feels like. But yeah, that's that. I know it's not manga related, but I just thought I'd throw this in there, just like a little tidbit and extra as well, because I don't only collect manga. I'm not super big into American comics, but with the 3rd season finally finished with, I just thought I'd finally get my hands on the last 2 volumes of The Boys omnibuses. I'm a huge fan of The Boys. I've always loved The Boys. I've had like volumes 1 through 4 on my shelf since the 1st season came out, and I've just been meaning to get through and finally pick it up. But with season 3 finally done, I thought, yeah, just pull the trigger, dude, finish the collection. It's 2 volumes, or 2 trade paperbacks, whatever you want to call them. But yep, that concludes The Boys. That was 5, and that's number 6 as well. Are you a fan of The Boys? Let me know in the comment section below, because I really like The Boys. Yeah. That concludes the manga haul for June and July. I'm going to really try to not take such big breaks in between. Not that I really had much of a choice just in terms of it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the manga haul. There's a lot of stuff that was in there that's very me, just like in terms of the Yaguya Ninja Scrolls. But there's a lot of stuff that's slowly working its way into my manga wheelhouse, like Oraclemon, that real slice of life sort of style, as well as like more reading manga in terms of the Summon of the Gods, and obviously more real stuff too. Obviously looking forward to picking up more stuff like Argent, finishing off Mao, and getting more Jujutsu Kaisen in my collection because I'm just a huge sucker for that series. And yeah, I guess that sort of completes my collection. Let me know what you guys are collecting. Let me know what your thoughts were. If you liked the video, feel free to like. Also subscribe. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Actually, I am going away at the end of the month, which is probably why I'm also uploading this so early. But I'll be back real soon. And yeah, thanks for checking it out, guys. Appreciate you. Peace.